Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Adam Ratliff, aka Adam So Fun, and today we are working in Pro Stitcher Simulator. I'm sitting at my dining room table, and now I've just realized we need to cover and touch up that paint. So thank you for that. I'm working in Simulator off of my computer, and because of that, I was like, I'm gonna go sit somewhere where it's really comfortable. So I am at my dining room table. A few things, we're working in Simulator. We are working with the Sonder quilt. We did the whole cloth quilt last week. If you wanna see it, go back to that video, I'll link it below. But what we're doing is we're taking that design. I believe there was 14 or 15 jumps in that design. So we're taking that design and we are going to edit it and cut those jumps down to 5. We're gonna have it stitch out in basically rings. So we're gonna have an outside ring and then 3 more rings on the interior. And we have jumps where we have to have jumps, but most of the rings, or all of the rings except for the far outer ring, will be able to stitch in with one start, and it just stitches in a circle. So I'm very excited. This is gonna be heavy, modify using your crop start and end. The outside ring is a little funky. There's some funky things we have to do, but it's gonna get you thinking outside the box. It's gonna get you thinking about how can you take this design using only Pro Stitcher, no Pro Stitcher Designer, but taking a design and figuring out how to get little pieces from it. We'll just say little pieces, because we had to take a piece from this design and we had to reuse it with a swap and start end and stuff. So a few things. If you have Pro Stitcher Lite, you're not gonna be able to do this at your machine. Pro Stitcher Lite does not have swap start and end. I don't believe they might have added it, but I know at the beginning it didn't. So if you're under your modify tab, if you don't see swap start and end, your last, or it's, I think it just, I gotta look at it now. You're sitting up against my computer. It says swap and it shows a start and an end point. If you don't have that icon, you can't do this because you're not gonna be able to change those starts and ends, start points and end points. You're gonna need to purchase Pro Stitcher Designer and do it in there. If you do purchase Pro Stitcher Designer, remember when you're shopping at ProStitcher.com, code ASF10, my affiliate code, will save you 10%. So make sure anytime you're shopping at ProStitcher.com, just throw it in. Anywhere you're shopping, throw it in. It might work, but it'll save you 10% off your purchase. Some things. If you have Pro Stitcher Lite, you can put regular Pro Stitcher on your computer. You can use the regular simulator on your computer, and you can still do this just like I'm doing it. You can save the design, save that file, and then take it to your Pro Stitcher Lite and stitch it out. Now you have to save a file. You can't save a workspace, but you can do that. So there is that for you. So that's your little workaround for your Pro Stitcher Liters. Anything you can't do in Pro Stitcher Lite, if you put regular Pro Stitcher Simulator on your computer, you can set your stuff up there, save it, and then take it to your Pro Stitcher Lite to stitch it. Anything else I need to go over? I will be working in Pro Stitcher Simulator, or not Simulator. I am gonna be in Pro Stitcher Simulator, but I'm also using Pro Stitcher Connect. I use Pro Stitcher Connect on my computer. I do not use it on my real machine. It is not on Taco or Taco 2, but it is on my simulator. It works fine because I'm not stitching, I'm not grinding gears. It is just a computer. It's very nice, especially on simulator. I love it because I can download those files. I know where they're downloading to, and everything is easy to find. So the technique today is a little bit complicated for that outside row. We do it a lot, so you get to see the process, and it's just the process. So I hope you enjoy it. Remember, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. Since I'm here and things are going on. I'm planning all of January. It's gonna be the month of safari because we're going on safari in January. I'm very excited. So, off to the races. We're gonna go jump in simulator. We'll see you when it's done. All right, everyone, here we are. We are in Pro Stitcher Simulator. I know it's simulator because my crosshairs are green. I'm currently sitting at my dining room table on my computer. I am using Pro Stitcher Connect, and you can tell I'm using Connect because of the PS patterns and my learning tab at the top. I do use Connect on my computer. I am not using it on my machine yet. So if I go to PS Patterns, I've signed in. Here's the Sonder quilt that I have. I downloaded it. And one of my favorite things about Connect is when you download something from PS Patterns tab, from this tab, when I go File, Design, Open, I don't have to wonder where it is because it's right here under my PS Patterns. There's the Sonder quilt, and we're gonna open the whole thing for a second. So we're not gonna be using this one. This is, we can come and start cropping pieces out and stuff. That's gonna be more of a headache than it's worth. So we're gonna stitch this in 4 rounds. So the outside round is this outside square and kind of these zigzaggy pieces at the north, south, east, and west. The next row are these kind of, we're gonna call them turkeys. They kind of look like a turkey. The next row are these pointy, we'll see they're tulips, and then the final round is the center. So we're going to do some editing. I'm going to tell you right now, this outside row is going to be a little bit of a headache because I know how it stitches and it has some weird connections, and let's talk about that. So once we get this piece done, everything else is going to be so easy. But the outside row is a little bit of a headache because the connections are here and here. And this point is created over here. It starts here. It's going to start and it's going to stitch down. But over here, this point is created from this design. This design comes and does these swirls, stitches here, comes back, stitches this inner, and comes and stops right here. So we need to add a connection point that basically is going to stitch from this piece. It's going to go from here, bounce to here, bounce to here, to stitch into this piece, to come back, connect at this start point, and this will take it to the other side so we can connect it to the other side. That is confusing and you're probably like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So let's just dive in and do it. Close selected. So I'm going to go File, Design, Open. My PS Patterns, Sonder Medallion. And I want to pick up, let's see, my row 1 is the outside. I don't want to deal with the outside row yet. Let's start with that side piece. So this is that side piece I was talking about. So we're going to open blue 1. Open. There we are. And now this is the design. This is the first design, and what we have to do is, you can see that the end point is right here. We want the end point to be right here where my my arrow is, my cursor. So first thing I want to do is I want to put this in the correct place. For the rest of the time, I'm not going to move my crosshairs. I need my crosshairs to stay because I'm going to use the reposition 0 feature. So I'm going to hit Modify, Reposition 0. Bottom house refresh, and there's my design. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to open that design again. I'm not going to use duplicate because duplicate doesn't have the reposition 0 in place, I don't believe. So I'm going to go Modify, Reposition 0, and now it looks like I just have one design because they're right on top of each other, and that's okay. Now I'm going to, let's see, we'll zoom to design. There we are. And so now I need to move my start point over to this end, to where we want it to end, to that point right there. So I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher tab, New Start End, and we can just move that start point down. I'm going to use my scroll bar to make it a little faster until I get close. I went too far. There. And then I can click it down. I don't have my mouse, so this is hard to work with the trackpad. So now I also need to move my endpoint. We're going to not move my endpoint. I want you to see why we have to move the endpoint. So I'm going to go to Modify. We're going to be using Crop Start End. So there I am, Modify. There's my crop. I'm going to hit Start End, and it's going to crop off half of this. Now you can see we still have the other half. The thing with Modify, with Crop Start and End, it only keeps what's between the start and the end points. So that's why we have all of this extra. So we're not done. We're going to go to Pro Stitcher, New Start End, and we're going to move that end point up. I'm going to use my scroll bar to get me close, and then I can click the rest of the way. And I'm going to click to right there. And now we're going to modify, crop, start, and end. And we just want that little piece. And now we're going to baseline. Very important that you always baseline after a crop. So that's all we need. That's all we needed to do. That's the only piece we wanted to keep from there. Now we need one more thing. Remember, we want the end point to be where our start point is, not the start point. So we're going to come up to modify and we're going to hit swap start and end. And you'll see that they switch. Super important, after you hit swap, you directly hit baseline or it's not going to hold it in. There's a weird glitchy thing. So now we have all of our pieces. They're in the right position with reposition 0 and everything's ready. So now I'm going to take my design and I can select nothing. I'm just going to select nothing. I'm going to come over here to select multiple. I can pick my design. There we are. And then over on my workspace, I'm going to pick the other small little piece and you're going to see we get a black dot. That black dot represents the design stitching without having any jumps and my new end point. I'm going to turn off select multiple so I don't pick something on accident, and I'm going to hit baseline. And now I have my new design. Over here I can see I have a merge group on my sidebar. I'm going to go to rename and just hit clear and name this 1 because this is ultimately going to be my first piece. And now I have my first piece done. So let's go File, Design, Open. Pro Stitcher Patterns, Medallion, and I know that I want to stitch this purple row second. So I'm going to go purple and open. There we are. Modify, reposition 0. And see this gap right here? We need to fill it. We need to fill it. We're actually going to need to fill it twice. So let's see, bottom house refresh. And we have to find out where that gap is coming from. So we're going to go to our Pro Stitcher tab, or not a Pro Stitcher, sorry, File, Design, Open. And I know, because I know this row, that this is coming from our turquoise row. So I'm going to pop in turquoise, and I'm going to modify, reposition 0. And the reason we're repositioning 0 before we do anything else is because we want everything to get lined up. And that's why we're not moving our crosshairs, because we want everything to stay where it is. So I'm going to zoom in over here. And what we want to keep is this piece to here. We just need that little hump. So I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher, New Start End, and I am going to move my end point. My start point can stay there. I'm going to move my end point up. And I'm just going to use a scroll bar almost all the way to the end because this is the very start. So we're going to keep coming up. There we are. And we're going to modify, crop, start and end. And there we have our second piece. So now we're going to baseline that because we cropped. Now, the fun thing about this piece, we actually need 2 of them. We need one that has the start point here and the end point here. Oh, no, we don't because the original starts there. Just kidding. We only need one. And we need it to start here and end right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Swap, Start, and End. We're going to hit Baseline. And now this piece is ready to go. So I can bottom house refresh. And what I want to do is I can come down. I'm going to select tool or pick my select tool, select nothing, and I can combine all of these if I want. I'm going to select multiple. I'm going to pick my number 1. I'm going to pick my turquoise, which is that little piece, and then purple. There we are. And you'll see that we have some black dots. I'm going to turn off select multiple, and those pieces are ready to go, and we're going to hit baseline. There was a little black dot over here. I don't know what it is. We're going to pretend it's not there. So File, Design, Open. We're going to open that turquoise piece again because we need the top part. There we go. Bottom house, let's see, what do we want to do? Modify, reposition 0. And now that is good. And we need to add one more piece over here. So let's base, it won't even let us baseline. But let's see, do we want to do, yeah, let's combine them. So let's see, I'm going to hit select multiple. I can pick that piece, pick this piece. And this is that endpoint or that black dot. I don't really know what that is. Sometimes they just show up. I'm going to turn off select multiple and baseline these all together. So now when I open File, Design, Open, and we want to pick up the blue 5. Open, modify, reposition 0. And here's where we need another connector. So I need this to have the start point right here. So like we did the first time, we're going to cut off a little piece for that. And I'm going to need this end point to be here. So I'm going to do the same thing with connecting that. So let's go pick up those two pieces. We'll do the end point first because that one's the easier one. So File, Design, Open. I'm going to open my turquoise pattern one more time. And now I'm going to modify reposition 0. And this is the easy one because all I need to do is move my start point to right there. So Pro Stitcher tab, new start end. I'm moving my start point down almost to the very end. There we are, and I can just move it up. So I moved it all the way to the end, and I'm just going to move it up and modify, crop, start and end, baseline. So there's one. So that's going to get the design from here to there. And this design, I'm going to go to my workspace tab. This is going to be my turquoise. So now let's go do the blue section really quick. Oops. And I'm just going to zoom in and Pro Stitcher, new start end. This time I need to move my start point back to here and my end point up to here. So I'm going to slide my end point up until I can see it. There we go. We'll use the arrows to finish that. And you'll notice I'm using the arrows right above jumps or umps. That's going to move a little faster than these top ones. And now I'm going to move my start point down. And I'm going to just try to do this a little bit so I don't move my end point. If you pass up your end point, it'll move it. Oops. Like that. I need this to go. Hold on. What did I do? I want to go up. I want to go down. Go up. I want to go down. They're stuck. Oh, maybe my finger was on it. There we go. I need this one to be there and this one to be there. Now, the reason it moved is I told Pro Stitcher that I didn't want my start point right here. I wanted my start point right here. So it's going to push the end point to where that start point is if I move past it. So there's my little piece. Modify, crop, start and end. And what do we do now? I feel like Dora. What's in my backpack? We're going to baseline. And then for this one, we're going to have to swap those. Swap and baseline one more time. So now we have this. We'll have a little piece there, a little piece here. And now we're going to come in. And for us, this is blue 5. I'm going to rename this. I'm just going to name this one 2, even though it's not the second piece, just because I have to open another blue 5. Open Pro Stitcher Patterns. And we want to open blue number 5. There we are. Modify, reposition 0. So now I need to put all this together. So I'm going to open my workspace tab. This will be easier. I'm going to hit deselect everything. I'm going to use my select tool. I'm going to hit select multiple, and I'm going to hit merge group. And then I want the turquoise one, which is that little piece. We need to swap start ends on that piece. I can tell because I have a jump. So let's just deselect that, turn that off. Turquoise one, swap baseline. So Pro Stitcher is always going to tell you what's happening. So you just got to pay attention. So now let's try this. Merge group. Turquoise 1. There we go. Number 2. And then blue 5. Again, I don't know what this weird dot is, but I know what those 3 are, and those 3 are good. And now I'm going to baseline this. And now the first half is all ready to go and is good. Let me check one thing. So that's the first part. That's the top part. There's a weird thing with how blue and red connect. I'm going to look at red 1. And you're going to have to do the same thing with the red 1 and red 5. So you're going to have to do the same thing on the bottom. And you can't just mirror this because there's this extra little zhuzh in this design. The extra little diamond piece sits right inside there. So you can't just duplicate it and flip it because it won't be correct. So you do have to do this again at the bottom. I'm going to let you do that one alone because I want to go into the next row and I want you to be able to see how easy it is after this one. So that's the outside. You're going to do this. So you're going to have two different stitches for the outside. You're going to have the top part, which is this one, and the bottom part, which is that. Now I'm going to go File, Design, Open, Pro Stitcher Patterns, and we're just going to pick up that next round. This is so easy. So we've already did turquoise, we've already did purple, we're going to pick up orange. Excuse me, there's only one design in orange, perfect. And then we're going to File, Design, Open, and we're going to go down to our blue row, and we're going to look, and we need blue 2, and we need blue 4. So I'm going to open blue 2, Design, Open, here we go. We're going to open blue number 4. And then we're going to open red 2 and red 4. Here we are. And red 2. Design, open. Open, Pro Stitcher Patterns. Here we go. Red 4. There we are. And then we'll need one more, and I think it's the black. And there's only one in that row. Correct, it's black 1. Open. For the, well, we'll talk about that in a second. So now I'm just going to reposition 0 all these. So modify, reposition 0. And I'll pick the next one. Careful you don't pick this outside one. We want these pieces in the center. 0. So pay attention to what you're tapping on. We don't want that, we want this. We don't want that, we want this. And so now I'm going to use my sidebar. I'm going to use my workspace tab because I keep selecting this top one and that just drives me nuts. So let's say I want to start here. So it's going to stitch from here to here. So that's blue. I'm going to look at the start points for orange. Those look great. And then blue 4, perfect. It's already set up for me. How about red 2? Red 2 is good because we're going to continue to stitch around here. Red 2 is not good because it's going to stitch the opposite way. You could make this into like start here and stitch around, start here and stitch around. I want this to do one big circle. So I'm going to swap my starts and ends. And then what are we going to do? Baseline, but it didn't let me. So I'm just going to select off of it. We'll come back. I can pick down here. And again, I need to swap the start and ends. This one lets me baseline. Let's click back here. Nope, it's still not letting me baseline. We'll pick this one. We'll have to swap start and ends. It's not letting me baseline. I don't know why it does this sometimes. So we're just going to click around and see. All right. So let's start putting this together. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to hit select multiple. And I'm going to pick blue 2 and orange 1. And we're going to baseline those together. And now I'm going to pick up blue 4. Looks good. We're going to baseline those together. I'm still getting that floating point. I don't know. Now this is red 4. Let's see what happens. See, it has the jump because I couldn't baseline that. So I'm going to hit select none. We're going to pick this one again. And now my baseline's up. So we're going to baseline that swap in and see if we can do this one yet. Nope. So we'll just continue to work until it lets us. Oh my gosh. So select multiple. We're going to pick our merge group. We're going to pick red 4. And see, now it's fixed because I could baseline the swap. Black 1, a baseline. And then now we need this one. Is it going to work? No, because it didn't let me baseline. So we're going to select none. Turn off select multiple. Pick my design. Ah, it's letting us now. See, I have no clue why it does that. We'll select none, select multiple, merge group, and my next piece. And you'll see starts and stops at the beginning. Black dot saying everything's looking good and baseline. Now that row's done. How easy was that? You want to get even easier? Let's do the next one. File, Design, Open. We're going to pick our next rows. So I think these are going to be blue. Blue 3. This is this one. Here we are. And you'll notice I'm using the green ones every time. You need to open the green files, which are the HQV file. Green, when you're looking at designs, anytime you see green, green means go. That means go first, HQV. When you see blue ones, I don't have any blue ones here, but when you see a blue color design, that is a QLI file type. And what I say is green means go first, blue means better than beige. This is beige. It's about the way designs are written and coded and stuff, above my pay grade, but that's what I tell people. That's what I was told. So I'm opening red 3. There we are, open. And now we're gonna, oh my gosh, like I could make a edge to edge with this zigzagging. Things that you find out when you start combining things. So we're gonna modify reposition 0. Pick this one, my workspace tab. Modify reposition 0. There we are. So we'll see this one is starting at the right and stitching to the left. I don't like that, but I think it's gonna work. So let's check the other one. Oops, workspace tab. And that one's starting at the left, stitching to the right. So it's gonna stitch around, that's fine. So we're gonna select none. I'm gonna turn on, select multiple. You'll see that I keep turning this off. Always turn it off. We're gonna pick blue 3 and red 3. You'll see your black dot of beauty. Turn off, select multiple, baseline. How easy was that? And now I saved the best for last. File design, open. Pro Stitcher Patterns, Sonder Medallion. We're going to pick up the center, select it, open. I think I rest my palm on my mouse pad and then it doesn't work. Modify, reposition, center. Now it's set. And now what we have done is we have, I'm going to use pan and we'll select all to make it dark. I think we're going to select all to make it dark. Let's try it this way. I killed it. Yeah, that's weird. Can I do it this way? I don't know what happened. But, so now we have it stitching in 4 rows. We have the outside. So the outside is going to have to be 2 pieces. The top piece, the next round. The top piece and then the bottom piece, I would stitch both of those. So you're going to go do that bottom one alone, exactly like we did the top. And then you have round 2, round 3, and round 4. This is going to save so much time. I think there were 14 jumps in this design to start out with, and now we've turned 14 jumps into 4. Just think about, like, if a jump even just took 30 seconds, that's minutes off your life. So, it's great. I'm going to go do this. I found another napkin that I'm going to put this on. I'm going to try another metallic thread, and I'm going to thread my machine right. So I'm going to go do that last one. I hope you kind of understood what we were going on. Crop Start End is one of my favorite tools. It really lets you get in. You can start doing so many amazing things, even looking at this design. What if you took this design, just this piece, you crop start in right there, and you have this piece, and you just put one of these and like coming out and made a square out of this. So you had one coming here, one coming here, one coming here. Now you have a new square design. If you inverted it and you had them connect here and you went out, you have a different square design. If you did them at a zigzag like they are now and kind of changed some starts and ends like we just did with existing pieces, that maybe this is your start and it does it at this angle and then it comes and does it at this angle and connects right here, starts and ends, and then now you had a border design. Think out of the box. You can do so many things in Pro Stitcher. You just can't move designs, but anything else you want to do, it is here. It is waiting for you to practice and play so you can get better and you can get inventive and you can start making your own videos like this. So happy stitching. And make sure to follow me on social media, Adam's So Fun with an SEW on Facebook and Instagram, so you can see the things that don't hit the channel. I'm going to stitch this out. That'll be over on the Facebook page just because I'm not going to have time to get it out or get it stitched before this video comes out. So I hope you learned something. We'll see you back here in a second. All right, everyone. So that is it. That is how easy it is to change this layout and change this design and have it stitch out the way we want it. Remember, when you're in Pro Stitcher, you're the kings and queens of Pro Stitcher. You tell that machine what you want it to do. Those designs are your subjects. They have to do what they're told, and they'll do what they're told even when you tell them the wrong stuff. Let's be honest. Most of the time, things are happening. It's operator error. As I already know, because last week I didn't even thread my machine correctly, and I didn't have the right needle in. So things happen. Don't sweat the small stuff. At the end of the day, it's just a quilt. We want to have fun, right? So this is using your crop start ends, using pieces of designs to create your new thing. My favorite is row 4, that we didn't have to do anything but reposition 0. Make sure when you're doing this on your simulator or at your machine, because you can do this all at your machine, that you're using the HQV files, so you can use your reposition 0, and it does all that placement for you and sets it up. Don't forget to follow me on social media, AdamSoFun with an S-E-W on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to stitch this out hopefully tomorrow. So you're not going to see this here on YouTube because I can't post it there, and it's not going to be done in time for this video to come out. But if you are on social media, you'll be able to see the new version of it. I already have the napkin nice and pressed and starched, and well, I use Best Press. I use Arrow Precision Piecing Liquid, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's my favorite one. But I have it nice and pressed. I have another metallic thread. I've been wanting to use it because it's variegated silver and reds and blues. It's kind of Christmassy, I think. And so I'm going to use that. Hopefully, I thread my machine right and I use the right needle. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you in the next one. If you celebrate, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you're having a wonderful December. I know mine has been pretty great, and it can only get better from here. So we'll see you in the next one. Happy holidays, everyone. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just quilting. We want to have a good time. Take some time on Christmas for yourself. Go and make something. Do a 4 patch. Do a 9 patch. We'll see you in the next one.